Step 1, launch CoherentWeb. Choose your input. We've already got our input. Choose your XSLT file. That's already selected, so just press start. We see 4 failures. They're test failure cases. We're now going to do an export. This exports the whole of the website so that its relative links can be maintained when we review it. Let's go into the preview tab, and that was our input file, the first one. We can go through, look at these other input files one by one, but we want to see what the output of that transform was, so let's toggle to output mode, and in fact we just happen to be looking at one of those deliberate errors that we have. But so there we see the other output files, and we can easily just switch between, and so we can see what effect the transform is actually having on each one of the files. But if we want to look at them side by side, we can do that. We can clear a bit more space by moving the file list, and we can also, if we want to have a tree view, just to allow us to browse more conveniently, there's a tree view that we can bring up on the left hand side here, so I can go through each folder in turn and look for specific areas of interest. Just to show what else we have, there's the failed log here that we can examine, processed log here, a summary, so every time that you do a transform you'll see a summary. It says that we did 30 transactions per second. Normally it would average about 60 transactions per second. And in fact, for straight XML without DTD processing, you could expect between 500 and 800 transactions per second. The other things that we have of note, there's some various settings that you can use, but in fact the real convenience features are in how you set up. You noticed when I first launched that everything was set up as I needed, because all your settings are preserved between sessions. And you've also able to have a recent input folder list and a recent XSLT file list, which you can edit if you like as well, and remove items that you want, or even pin items to your input folder so that they get preserved. Let's do the same for this down here. Done. So that will be preserved like that the next time we start up. The control panel is on the very left hand side here. You can see when performing long transactions, if you need to escape out, there is a cancel button, of course, and you may choose to do that as you see a fail count get above a certain level. That concludes this first demo of the latest version of CoherentWeb. Work is ongoing.